Hey y'all, what's good? Good morning. Headed to work, running late as usual. It's like, y'all, no matter what time I get up, just about, it seems like I'm gonna be running late. If I get up 30 minutes early, it just don't matter. Somehow I'm gonna find time to waste with something. And that's what happened this morning. It's like it just don't matter. Somehow something come up every morning. Ugh. And then school ain't even started back. School starts back next week. Or no, not next week. Yeah, school starts back next week. And so, like right now, it don't even take that long to get to work. Once school starts back, I'm going to really have to get it together to get to work on time. I tell you the truth. And y'all, I've just never been like one of those people that's been late to work. Like, seriously, like what? Maybe that was my young life. Like maybe now in my old age of my 40s, I'm not a timely person when it comes to work. I don't know. Anyway, I was listening to the radio this morning, and they had talked about, I don't know if you guys have heard of it or heard about it, but there was a Pee Wee football game here. This is Texas. Football is very big here. And to make a very long story short, a Tyrone, I can only imagine that everybody involved sounded like Tyrones, got into it at a Pee Wee football game. Which means these are children playing football game, got into an altercation verbally with one of the coaches, shot and killed the coach, y'all, and the coach's child was playing at this league. Like basically he on the field, the coach's child is on the field playing. Of course he's coaching us because his son is in the league, and Tyrones don't know how to act, so they get into it. Somebody shoots the coach and basically kills him right in front of his son. And they played the verbal, whoever filmed what was, y'all know black people gonna pull out their phone and film what's going on. I'm one of them people, I'll pull out my phone and film in a minute, child. And you could hear all the commotion going on and all this kind of stuff. And then you hear shots fired. The dude who killed him ran off. But y'all, it just so happens that the dude that killed him is the brother of a former NFL football player, something Talib. I don't know, I don't know nothing about football, so I don't know what team he played for, or, if they black. It sounds like they probably are. Maybe they're Muslim or something. I don't know, child. But just, the degeneracy of Blackistan. Here we go on a Monday morning. So, they had talked about that. And ironically, I saw a video this morning, and I posted it on the community wall. It showed where this guy, a Tyrone, had gotten into it with this white guy at an intersection over some road rage. They got out of their cars. They started fist fighting. Of course, people filmed it, one of which was another Tyrone. And then the white dude, from what I could tell, who was getting the best of the Tyrone was shorter, and white boy just had hands, and beat the black dude up. But the white boy had sense to basically put his hand out to shake the black dude's hand and say, okay, let's call a truce. Because one of them was at work, and I believe it was the Tyrone, who was a truck driver, fighting on the clock. What a great representation for your company. And when the white boy extends his hand to say basically truce, like let's dead this right here, the black dude kind of looks at his hand like, what? And the white boy kind of puts out his hand like truce, like basically let's stop this right here. And then the black dude kind of shakes his hand, and the white dude gets in his car and drives off. Now, y'all, I grew up in the 80s, and that's how it used to be. Me and my homegirl was talking yesterday. This is the one I went out to eat with, and we went to the gym and all that kind of stuff with. We talked about that, and that's how that whole conversation came up. I told y'all about on the live yesterday about, do you fight to the death, or, and I was trying to explain to her just how different it is depending on the situation, But when we were growing up, that's how it was. You fought, and then it was over with there, and you moved on with life. It wasn't no, unless you were in a gang or something, it wasn't no just you going back and forth, forever until somebody died or something like that. It was just you fight, whoever win, and that's it. Like, you ain't got to fight this person forever, and that's how it was. It wasn't nobody getting shot, nobody getting stabbed, nobody getting killed because they got beat up. It was just, you just took a licking and you kept on ticking. And now, whenever guns became popular, and it became popular in the rap music, and every solution was to kill somebody, like that's how you resolve conflict is to kill somebody, then that's when that kind of became more the go-to solution. But, it's like when I was growing up, it was just, you fought, and that was it, and you moved on. It wasn't we just gonna fight and brawl until one of us die. We just gonna keep this grudge going to the death of us. You know what I mean? And I used to be a big grudge holder, and I grew up seeing that, and I don't know what age it was that I learned that it's not healthy, but whatever, I learned at some age it's not healthy to hold a grudge. Like I remember hearing more than once this saying, and it's so true, that holding a grudge is like taking poison and expecting the other person to die. And I feel like that is so true. And it's like I was literally telling my homegirl yesterday, with all this stuff that's happened recently, I was telling her, I said, I feel like there's a certain person I never want to see again. You know what I mean? And I told her, I feel like that's almost impossible if I ever want to be involved with my family again, not to see this person again. It's like, I literally would never go to anything if I don't want to see this person again. And it's like, now that I think about it, with what I just said, it's like that would be holding a grudge, and it's like, I was telling her, I was talking to God yesterday. I was in church and they played a song that I really love. It's like, since our old pastor died, the music isn't like it used to be. I like the way the songs they used to sing, and they don't really do that anymore. But yesterday they did. And it's the song, I'm not a musician. I don't know nothing about church songs. I didn't grow up in a black church. I didn't grow up with black church songs. So all this is, just new to me as far as adulthood goes. Growing up, I didn't go to black churches. But it's some church song that at the end they go, Amen, Amen. And it's like they keep doing that. Oh, I love that song. And it just always just really ushers me into the, I feel like the throne of God, into the spirit. And I was telling God, Lord, please forgive me for ever thinking anyone could love me like you do, that anyone could ever love me as unconditionally as you do. Please forgive me for ever, making I don't want to say making a God out of a person, but just thinking a parent, an uncle, an aunt, anybody could ever love me the way he does. Nobody can ever love me like that. And holding people to that standard of thinking that they can, I'm the main one always telling y'all, there's no such thing as unconditional love. You know what I mean? And there isn't. That it just does not exist. Even the love that we have for God and that God has for us has conditions. He loves us, but for us to be saved, we have to do certain things. You know what I mean? We have to believe in him. And believe that he died for our sins and whatnot. So, when I was telling him that, and I'm thinking about the whole grudge thing and how it hurts you more than it hurts anybody else. And most importantly, when I was telling my friend and she said that's called empathy, I was telling her sometimes people can only, or not sometimes, I really believe people can only love you to the extent that they're able. So some people can only relate to, let's say, your trauma or your troubles to the extent that they've had them. In other words, if a person, say your troubles align with this person only to the extent that, they're also a convicted felon. They've also been in handcuffs. They can relate to that because they've experienced that. You know what I mean? But if this person doesn't realize that they're mentally ill or they had a traumatic childhood and it's affected the way they see the world, or that they've never had to sit in front of a therapist, and if they have, they've never come to terms with the fact that something that they did means they're mentally ill. You know what I mean? Or if they're attracted to something that's not natural, that means they're mentally ill. You know what I mean? Or the way they process things or don't process things means they're mentally ill. If they never had to deal with that, then they can't possibly understand where you're coming from. So the only thing they can relate to you on is maybe being in handcuffs or being a convicted felon or being in some kind of legal trouble. And if they haven't even been in that kind of trouble, they can't relate to even that part of you. So it's like just like with me, I take my life, for example. I think about what I talked about the other day with the whole kid situation and adoption and whatnot, and how, you know, it's like I've never been a single mom, and I know I say some stuff on here that gets single moms upset, and I know a lot of my subscribers, you know, when I started out were single moms, and I know, and or they may have even been Tyrone's, and I say stuff, and you know, I can't relate to them, you know, because I ain't been a single mom before. I say, no, you shouldn't be one. You should use condoms. You should wait till you get married to have sex. You should, you know, do whatever you got to do not to be a single mother, because you're making it hard unnecessarily on yourself and on a child. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care how strong you think you are, how much familial support you think you have. Just don't do it. You know what I mean? What Drake say, don't do it. Please don't do it. If one of us go in and we all go through it, or what, y'all know I be misquoting the lyrics, but it's just like, don't do it. You're not as strong as you think you are. You know what I mean? It's just not worth it. What DMX say? Don't do it in the end, dog. It's just not worth it. Don't do it, man. It's just not worth it. You know what I mean? So I know I make these blanket statements, you know, because it's something I can't relate to. So I may, you know, I am also only able to love people to the extent of what I've experienced. You know what I mean? I've never done drugs before, so I might look at a drug addict, despite, you know, having a degree in human services with a specialization in drug counseling. Like, this is literally something I've learned how to do. But in my personal life, I would look and say, you know, that a person does drugs. It's just like, why would you even start? Why would you even try that? Why would you, you know, what in your earthly mind would make you think it's okay to say, I think I'll try some heroin? And of course, it rarely starts out with people saying, I think I'll try some heroin today. It, you know, it starts out with these little things that you try. You know, you try some weed, and then you try, you know, you try and try and try, and you try all these different things, and then one day your whole life just look crazy because you started with something that seemed, you know, innocuous. So, you know, to get back to the, you know, the empathy, and it just kind of all brought it back together for me. The whole holding a grudge thing, and who does it benefit? And then, you know, it's like I literally also thought, I was telling my girlfriend, I said, you know, I thought about that, but then I also thought, you know, basically everybody sees what's happened. It's like, it's not just this one person, but there are other people who are seeing what's happening, and nobody's stepping in on your behalf to say, to check this person, to say, well, you know, no, this isn't right. If she's telling you this is how she feels and this is her, you know, blah, 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 then, you know, why did you do that? You know, no, it's like, no, so, you know, there's a part of me that's like, so who cares if you see, you know, there's part of me that's just like, who cares if you see, you know, you know, this again, or if you don't, because it seems like nobody cares about you. Remember what I talked about yesterday when I posted that video about BPD, and how, you know, the girl, she was talking about how she loves people, but she, you know, runs people out of her life and she doesn't mean to. So it's like just trying to metabolize that, like, well, what does that look like? Do I want these people in my life, or don't I? You know, and it's like, can I have these other people in my life without having this person? It's like, it's impossible. You know, am I going to hold a grudge because I feel like nobody came to bat for me? You know, do I blame them? You know, just so many things, you know, just so many things. And it's like, there are things I feel like that I know that they don't know. And, you know, just it goes on and on. You know, it's just like, oh, what did they say? On and on to the break of dawn. It's like, I can definitely see why there are black women who, when they date out, they just totally leave the community, because it's like, and especially for me, I feel a lot of times like, if I cannot walk in truth, if I can't put everything out there and say, look, this is the problem, this is where all this started, you know, blah, 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 then I don't need to be no part of it. And y'all know me, I just like to walk in truth. And, you know, a lot of people just can't handle it. You know, there's a lot of people from other generations that, you know, they love secrets and don't tell nobody this and da-da-da, and it's going to make us look bad. And, you know, and I'm thinking, well, that's how you heal, is to just put it out there. Look, this is what happened. I'm sorry if it make y'all look bad, but this is what happened, you know. How else do you heal? Now they say you're only as strong as your weakest link. You know what I mean? It's like, if nobody cares about doing the healing, then you're going to keep having, to me, in my opinion, manifestations of that. So, I don't know. Sorry, I was drinking some water. Anyway, child, I done got to work. Ladies, I don't know what. Definitely was not in the 160s yesterday, y'all. Or in the 160s this morning when I woke up. But I was in the low 170s. So anyway, I will holler at y'all later. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all be easy. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Oh, I wish y'all could see what I got on today, baby. Baby. It's giving. It's giving very spring, very summer, very colorful. And I got these 2 headbands. I got one of them on, but I think I need to change into the other headband. Not that y'all can even see what I'm wearing, but shout out to my subscribers who sent me the headbands, girl. I mean, and it's 2 of y'all. But, baby, y'all just don't know how much I love these headbands. For real, for real. Y'all just don't even know. I mean, I be wearing them every day. Every day. Bye, y'all.